Hello, buddy. I am FTA, and I'm joined by Mr. Mikonos fan, Mr. Games Enlisted, and Senor Smoothies for an event that has been 3 years in the making. We finally received the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. Let's
The
let's talk about it, boys.
the
Let's talk
actual
about it.
trailer this time, not the actual trailer.
You know what? You know what? I will give parent. This is how low my opinion of movie studios has come. I like the fact that we just got the trailer. We didn't get like 4 seconds saying trailer coming next week. The fact that we didn't get a trailer for a trailer, I think in this day and age is somewhat impressive, and that's the most pathetic form of praise I can leap on this movie.
Oh
and
no.
also got to give it some credit that despite everything else that leaked about this movie, they somehow kept the trailer like leak free, despite it being played at least like 4 times beforehand.
Well, you say that, but technically, an image, the
Okay, yeah, the Robotnik
frame,
image.
the frame of Robotnik image was leaked yesterday.
Segabit's got that scoop.
Yeah, where did Segabits get that from?
They downloaded it.
Who's to
Oh,
say?
okay.
Who's to say?
It was you, Chris. I knew it.
Look, my uncle Paramount, he's a generous man, but not generous for me.
Paramount.
God,
But-
I feel like it's just like it's in this room, like it's just taking up all the oxygen. This fucking trailer. It's like it's not bad. We can all agree it's not like a bad trailer, right? It's just so. It's not good bad. It's boring
not,
bad.
It's not good. Like, yeah, I mean, like there are worst edited trailers out there, but in terms of it just feels like any type of generic,
Yeah.
like Alien comes to Earth type of movie. It's.
Someone
supposed-
posted Hop, the Easter movie.
Oh my god! Well,
which
especially
really
especially there's that in the trailer. There's James Marsden who plays Tom, is driving, sitting next to Sonic, and then I guess there's a still from the movie Hop where again James Marsden driving a car and the CG bunny is in the seat. It's just. And the CG Bunny has better CG than the CG Sonic made 7 years after the CG Bunny does.
How does Illumination have a better looking live action CG character than Blur?
Wait, so what? Illumination did the CG
Yeah,
for Hop?
Illumination, yeah, did the CG for Hawk.
Okay. And speaking of then, have we confirmed it's blurred? Because back in the day, it was Mars Planet was meant to be doing the CG. Obviously, Tim Miller, director of Deadpool, executive producer of this movie, and the director of the movie, Jeff something I forget, both
Fowler?
come from Jeff Fowler. Both come from high-end positions at Blur Studio, CG company that did CG cutscenes for Shadow the Hedgehog, 06, and I want to say Sonic Riders, maybe. But but have they
Everything before
that's another
Unleashed.
thing. Have they well, not everything. I guess everything from Shadow to before Unleashed, maybe, yeah. But have they confirmed what animation studio is doing the CG for this?
I think they just kind of dropped the trailer and ran. I'm not sure they've said anything really. It's just like fucking take it, bye.
Well,
It
let's go
still-
to the end of the trailer and see.
It,
No,
it's,
didn't
it
say
still
anything.
says Blur Studio and Marsaplanet on the wiki, and there's nothing else that's saying somebody.
Dude, the
doesn't
wiki.
mean much.
Like, that means nothing, buddy. Come on.
No, I mean, well, Wikipedia, like everything on here is like mostly true, so I don't know why that wouldn't, at least at the moment.
Let me check the article. According to the Wikipedia article, Sonic the Hedgehog is a cock in the movie. I didn't see that
Whoa,
coming.
Nice. Paramount's YouTube description gives no answers other than that Paramount is in more than 180 countries.
Does the official description still classify Sonic the Hedgehog as a juvenile delinquent?
No.
No, there is
Damn.
no character trait.
That is still my favorite thing ever. He's classified as a juvenile delinquent.
Okay, this is new because it wasn't like this before. Now it's being officially branded as a Paramount animation film. It wasn't like that before.
That's an odd choice, seeing as from what we could tell from the trailer, like, well, let's be kind and say 75% of everything in that trailer was live action. So kind of a weird flex to label it under your animation department, where as far as we can tell, one character is going to be CG.
Well, their first two animation films were Sponge Out of Water, which has a lot of live action in it, and Monster Trucks. So I mean,
Oh
so
my
so
God.
Paramount are very vague with their, and considering their only other movies are Sherlock Gnomes and Wonder Park, it's like you're not really,
Sherlock
you're not
Gnomes.
doing so well, Paramount.
Make it
I
stop.
was hoping we would get a monster truck type blowback from this movie. But do you wanna Chris, you tend to be the most analytical of us. Do you want to break down exactly what the trailer is, if you can?
Okay, here's the trailer. Have you ever seen a movie where an alien or weird creature comes to Earth and then someone walks into a room and finds it and screams, and then the trailer goes pitch black and then a character starts talking over the darkness and then it sets up everything? Because you've seen this trailer a million times
Detective
before.
Pikachu.
Exactly. That's a very good recent example. It's like, to go off your earlier point, to give them credit, this is a very beefy trailer, all things considered. It's like 3 entire minutes of shit I can't remember.
Yeah, because you know what's weird, because the stuff. So I don't interrupt you, Chris, but to give some context for this trailer, I guess at Cinecon, like a month ago, I guess
CinemaCon.
Paramount CinemaCon, they showed 2 trailers. Like one was, I guess, one just showcased Sonic, one showcased Robotnik. Apparently, both of those were maybe a minute each. So what it sounds like they just merged those two, maybe added a bit more stuff to it. Because I was expecting, when I like you guys, when I woke up and saw Sonic trailer released, I was expecting something less than a minute of just a bit, mostly James Marsden. Then we'd end with like a shot of Sonic running. So in that regard, I'm glad they did not pull a Venom in this situation and hide Sonic. He is, front and center. Good or
Yeah.
bad, in your opinion, but he is front and center of this trailer.
Plenty of Eggman too, I kind of forgot Tom the Cop was a thing, because he just kind of barges back in halfway through, and I'm like, oh, right, you're in this movie too, guy. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of do the good. Because we assume that most of the movie is gonna be him, because like that's usually what happens in these kind of movies. But at least
Our
with,
lens.
at least with the trailer, they're like, okay, show Sonic and Eggman, or Robotnik in this case. Which, to be fair, I like Jim Carrey in this. I like good or bad, he's making me laugh.
You get a good amount of Jim Carrey doing weird bullshit
Well, see-
and Sonic bopping things and destroying stuff. Like, you get an idea of what this is actually going to be, at least.
My problem with Jim Carrey is that he's just Jim Carrey. It doesn't feel
Yeah,
like he
no.
in any way has like created a character
No.
for Robotnik. It's just Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And here's my problem with Jim Carrey in this movie from this trailer. It's not even like good over the top Jim Carrey. It's just like, what if Jim Carrey interrupted an army guy for half a minute and then licked something and weirded out and
mean,
then talked to
that's-
himself?
He acted based on this trailer. It's like we should get Steve Carell, because this is just Michael Scott acting,
Actually-
in this trailer.
Yeah, this was much more on the Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty scale than Jim Carrey.
Because from the reactions from CinemaCon, people were like, it's like 90s Jim Carrey. I was expecting like over the top insane Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey
exactly.
for this, because again, it's like you said, it's like go. It's like kind of, if you're gonna get Jim Carrey for this, it's like go big or go. Unless you're gonna have Jim Carrey being insane peak Jim Carrey, why hire Jim Carrey for this role?
Maybe he gets there by the end, but
I want to see 50-year-old Jim Carrey jumping
Well,
around doing.
Actually, Chris,
Yes.
Chris, I think you have a point. I think maybe he'll become more eccentric and crazy near the end of the film, because we see like he changes appearance at some point. Mm-hmm. I think they're even going to rename him. I think he's going to start off as Robotnik and end up as Eggman later. I think that's what's going to happen.
It is possible that, because it feels like, based on stuff they've said and kind of shown, it looks like they're skewing more towards the kind of early 90s Bible, where, even at this point in time, technically speaking, his name is Robotnik. He just calls himself Eggman. Blah 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 blah. The thing about the thing at the end, mild spoilers, that this could possibly be true, could be not, but based on what we saw in the trailer, I think it's very likely this is true. So if anyone, including you three, don't want to be spoiled, Cover your ears for 30 seconds. Starting now, there was a Reddit thread a while ago about, I guess, some guy had seen an early test footage. An early test screening of the movie, and what he said kind of jives with what we've seen. Like, he talked about plot points that were kind of in the trailer. He says, I guess the credit stinger is Eggman. Robotnik ends up on Sonic's world looking like Eggman. So, and obviously in that shot, you see the giant mushrooms. Everyone's just saying that's Mushroom Hill. So, I mean, that's probably going to be either right before it cuts to credits, or the mid-credit stinger will be probably, because those it shows Sonic throwing rings and people going through them like people have said Doctor Strange, or like the special stage rings in the original games. Mm-hmm. So from what the Reddit said was, I guess at the end of the movie, Eggman will fall through one of those and end up on Sonic's planet. It's which. Thank you, Izuka, for making the two worlds theory correct in canon again. Thank you, thank you, Izuka. But yeah.
That really makes me wonder what the second movie, if it happens, is going to look like. Because, like, you would infer from that, then, that the second movie is going to have a lot more of the typical Sonic, I don't want to say art direction, because obviously they're doing a more realistic thing.
We'll look at the box office first before we start talking about the second movie.
Let's not get too crazy here, but since also, it's presented.
That also kind of brings the question of, why make this movie to begin with if your whole plan is to set up a more source accurate second movie? Like, why?
Yeah, what if this movie was the first 5 minutes, and then what they want the second movie to be was this movie?
Well, it's like the reason why it's made, Stefan, obviously, because name brand recognition. People know Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, I mean, in the sense, I know why it's made, but I feel like if you're doing something like setting up a more game accurate sequel, why not just make the first one game accurate? Like, if you're not gonna be accurate, just go full on. Just say fuck it, we're not gonna be accurate.
What are you talking about? This one was very game accurate. Sonic says gotta go fast.
Sonic goes to San Francisco, which was in Sonic Adventure 2.
He spin dashes. He goes down a hole just like when he goes to Knot Hole. Come on. We see the California pyramids and desert from SA2.
They fixed the ring sound effect. They did. At least that's that. At least there's that.
They listened.
They gave him socks.
They did. You know what the thing that they did. That's one thing we should say based off the original teaser poster of just his legs. They clearly did change his design. His feet are more. They're less Ken Penders scary. They're more like they are in the games, and just kind of just like a tube almost. And his shoes have been changed, where they still don't look like his shoes, but they look more like his shoes than the ones in the teaser poster. So it's like small victories, I guess. If you want to.
There's something I don't know that we've said. Have all of us in this video said how we actually feel about the trailer yet? Because I've been dying to hear what Steven thinks of this, and I don't think I've gotten that yet.
I was hoping we wouldn't get there, but okay, let's start with Captain. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll start with Captain Negativity.
Yeah.
Then we'll go me. Then we'll go you, Chris, and then we'll end with Captain Positivity to make it a nice uneven sandwich.
The full spectrum.
Exactly. Go, right. Steven, go.
Well, there are a lot of things that I like about this trailer. I like that Sonic, he wears out his shoes. Like, there's like a big pile, big pile of shoes that are worn out.
I like that.
And I do like that. And I'm like, but then again, he's also really small, so is he just stealing a bunch of children's shoes?
Yes.
I don't know what's happening here.
You say he's small. Does anyone quickly jump to his design? Does anyone think his proportions make him look too big?
Yeah,
because his proportion-wise, he looks weird to me. Like his torso and legs should be shorter.
Yeah, I said that on when the first posters and those leaked images were revealed, because I'm like, he's supposed to be like, what about like 3 feet ish, but the way he's designed looks like he should be like 5 feet or something. Like, it's just weird how yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to say I enjoyed it, but I thought the exchange between Jim Carrey and the General was okay. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but it was just like, oh well.
He sure showed him.
Yeah. It's
You're basic.
They-
The dog says you're basic.
Nobody cares.
They brought back Sonic's patented electricity and time-stopping abilities. I'm very happy they stuck to the game with that. I'm glad they brought back classic Eggman, who was thin and had hair.
Kinterball. They made Kinterball canon.
They did. I'm glad that that Eggman drives around in a semi-truck now. A semi. Drives around in
Very
a semi.
Does that make it canon that Eggman's actually driving the gun truck in Sea Escape?
Oh my god. Why do
The deepest of lore.
Why do we have? Why isn't Gun in this trailer? Like they belong here.
They look like
that
gun
should be Gun.
His robots
Should
look
be
like
Gun,
gun
not
robots.
The regular military. Oh no. Oh man, just. What is there to say? Like everybody's already said it all. Like what am I? Like you want me to be negative? What is there? What else is there?
Because
to
that's
say?
your job at FTCR. You're the one who says there's bad things about things.
Yeah, he
Stefan
started saying things he
Stefan says the
likes.
good things, and everyone else says things in between. You're breaking the dynamic of the group, Stephen.
There's nothing
We don't
else.
pay you for
There's
this.
nothing else to say. Well, okay. How about
How'd you feel about the visual effects?
they're okay. The Sonic movie is intentionally bad. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm saying no. This is conspiracy. Whatever. I think. No. I'm not even joking. Like I legitimately think that this movie is intentionally bad, and that they want
For
you.
what purpose though?
Listen, they want you to be upset because they are fabricating your outrage so you will buy tickets to hate watch it. This is basic marketing. So don't complain when you don't like it because you're the reason why bad movies exist if you go see this.
I say to support this theory, Twitter like moments and all that shit, and all these news articles have been like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is here, and it's worse than you think. It's like it's
Exactly.
really not
There's
that
been
bad at all.
there's been 4 Twitter moments, and the trailer was revealed like 6 hours ago.
But just look
Calm
at,
it down,
well, just look
Twitter.
at Sonic Movies. Like their first tweet is a meme. It's just a big beefy
Yeah,
head.
Sonic
It's-
movies. I love that guy.
Their first tweet is a meme. It's just like a big beefy Sonic holding up a sign saying "Can a guy work out?" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's intentional. They want you to hate watch it, and that's all I gotta say. Who's next?
Mic drop. Garrus next.
One, saying, so Stephen, to get into it more about his design, because obviously you are the design guy, like so. If we take based on translating modern Sonic, and then the movie version, what are your opinions on how well or bad he's been translated to the big screen?
I don't know. How did you feel about when Michael Bay touched Ninja Turtles? Like, fucking stop it.
It's with something like Ninja Turtles. I didn't. Okay, what I'm about to say is the most shallow of complaints. I would have liked the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles more if they weren't wearing clothes. That is honestly how I feel about those versions of the Ninja Turtles. I don't like them wearing clothes, and I prefer the Turtles to have shells that are like an actual shell, not just like the shell on the back and then like six pack. If there's nothing on the side, I'm like, how does that turtle shell? How does that work? I don't care how that works. In terms of Sonic, though, it's like, proportion wise, I think he's too big. I think his head is way too big for his design.
Let's just say it's your turn to talk because you're going.
I think his head is way too big for his design. I think the eyes should be bigger. I think just the problem, because obviously we knew it was going to be different and based. You know what's weird though? Based off those style guide images that came out.
Yeah.
I think the final version looks worse than what we were shown, than what was leaked rather.
Yeah.
In those style guides, so I'm not sure what happened.
Do you remember the design that was where he was next to Chris Pratt on the hood of the car?
Yeah,
That looks so much better.
Compared to what we see now, God, I want that.
That one still haunts me because it's like now it's what could have been.
He looks
It's like,
adorable
this could have
in that.
vaguely appealing.
It's like in that one, it's like he's proportion wise, he looks accurate. He's got better looking shoes. I mean, I've said this time and time again. I fully expected us to just get modern design with realistic fur.
Yeah.
Like going into it, it's like I
Hey,
honestly
LeBron.
thought
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, but obviously like same basic idea, but obviously better looking than the LeBron version.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I was expecting
Yeah.
the same thing.
But it's one thing that I tweeted about, but so in that boardroom scene, I am pretty sure one of the generals is Gary Chalk, who voiced Grounder in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and was Robotnik in Sonic Underground. Because I think this movie filmed in Canada. Gary Chalk plays a bunch of like 2-line people in a bunch of big movies, so I'm not surprised to see him in there. The fact that this was a Canadian production, it is just cool. It's kind of like how in X-Men 1, the guy who voiced Beast in the 90s cartoon is the bar owner. It's small things like that. I'm sure he was on set and it was like, I voiced some of these characters 20 years ago.
And someone's like, yeah, whatever.
It's like, what? This franchise has cartoons? What are you talking about? No one cares about this hedgehog. What are you talking
This
about?
is an IP? What?
This is a movie?
This is a movie. I mean, the use of Gangster's Paradise, as Chris explained to Tomio Otani, and then retweeted Chris.
And said, oh, I see.
It's. I mean, yes, Gangster's Paradise is very indicative of the 90s, where Sonic's popularity was at its highest, but if you stop for even a fraction of a second to think about the context of the lyrics of Gangster's Paradise, why in the name of Christ would you put this over the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog? Unless the reason why Sonic abandoned Mobius is he murdered Knuckles and all the entire Echidna tribe. There is no reason why you would pick Gangster's Paradise.
That's the whole
for
thing.
this trailer.
That they do that with so many movies and stuff, where they'll put a song in a trailer or even in the movie or whatever, and not even think about, oh, what do these lyrics mean? They're just like, oh, this is a song people know, and it's like has like catchy music or whatever. So they're
quick, Stefan. Quick aside that the best example of that was when the Tigger movie came out, and they used "Semi-Charmed Life" by Third Eye Blind, because it has that a very nice poppy do 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 do. But then you realize that song is about being addicted to crystal meth, and then Disney very very quickly removed that trailer from syndication.
They should have used The Offspring or Sum 41 or some band like that, if we're being honest.
How about no? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. What they should have used, but they never would in a million years. They should have used some Crush 40.
like,
That'll never happen.
It will never happen.
Yeah, because
It never happened. But damn it.
Yeah, because Crush 40 isn't a popular band. They should be.
When was the
Everyone
last time?
knows
When was the
Sonic
last? When was the last time Coolio was relevant?
But
When he did the Keenan and Kel theme 15 years ago. No one gives a shit about Coolio nowadays.
The quote unquote the normies, the general public, they at least know who Coolio is. They don't know who Crush 40 is. Sadly.
What do you think this trailer? Do you think this story takes place in modern times, or is it a '90s thing? No, the cars are too.
Yeah,
modern,
this is a modern movie. Yeah, they're not going
Just
to
trying
try
to
and make a period piece out of
There
this.
has to be some sort of reason why they chose fucking Gangster's Paradise. There has to be a reason.
Because it's from the 90s and Sonic is from the 90s as well. That is how
That's
basic. I would assume so.
That's it?
I would yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't
that's
even think that's. I just think they're like, oh, this is a cool song, and Sonic is cool and all that jazz.
It is kind of want to be cool in that Sonic way, and if we want to purely abstract this to its purest forms.
They should have used Amish Paradise. Would have been cheaper to get the rats.
We churn butter once or twice.
I spent a lot of my life not realizing Weird Al shtick, and that was not an original song to make fun of the Amish. Sorry, that's my personal admission. Anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Christopher, no. So, Chris, your thoughts on the trailer?
If you had told me 5 years ago that a Pikachu movie and a Sonic movie were coming out in the same year, and that the Pikachu movie featured swearing and fart jokes and would be liked more than the Sonic trailer, I would have called you very bad.
Oh my god, yes! Holy shit.
I'm like, there's parts of this trailer I like. I think the bag joke at the end where he's like, oh, we got a kid in here, but it's not our kid. I think that's a funny bit. I think the missile shot is like a weirdly knockoff Looney Tunes kind of appealing, where all the missiles are frozen around him and he's talking about his Fitbit or whatever. He doesn't have anything on his wrist, but he's looking at his wrist.
See,
I think that's a cool shot. I would have liked to have seen that in the movie and not in the trailer. You know what I mean? Not have that like.
well, I mean,
spoiled.
Chris, you can see that in a movie. Just go watch X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Oh right, I did see that movie, didn't I?
They
forgot.
literally that whole gimmick of like everything's going very slow but Sonic speed fast. That is just what Quicksilver does in all of those movies. So it's a good thing 20th Century Fox no longer exists. Otherwise, they sue the shit out of this movie.
And he took
Yeah,
Sonic
now
took
it's just on Disney.
and Sonic took the lightning from Flash, so he's just the two combined.
There's nothing original about this trailer.
Why does he have electricity? Why?
That-
I
That's
think
going
it's visually
fast.
cool, but it doesn't make sense.
No,
You know, I don't like the Eggman robot designs, but at least they look in line with something Sonic has done, like from 06. Like I don't know, there's like little things I
yeah.
can point at and be like, okay.
it's
Someone
sad that
maybe did their
06
homework.
looks better than this film.
It's also sad that the director of 06 tweeted out, and his only tweet was "how." when this trailer came out.
Like, Jeff Fowler, what the fuck? What the fuck?
And he's supposed to be in that interview they did with IGN where it was him, Tim Miller, executive producer, and the writer of this was the famous interview where they were like, "Yeah, Sega doesn't like what we've done design-wise with Sonic."
Yeah,
Jeff
weird.
Fowler was like the one who was like, I'm probably the biggest Sonic fan. I'm the one who's trying really hard to keep this, close to the spirit of the character. And to be fair, we have just been seeing a bunch of things out of context. It is entirely possible once we see the movie, the movie Sonic does act and feel like Sonic, even if he doesn't look like him. But it just feels like
We
this is something.
didn't really get a good feel for how Sonic is in this. I don't think.
No, all we got was a few out of context lines that just felt like they were like generic trailer lines. Like it's time, I have to save the planet. Or is that
Gotta
all
go
you
fast.
got? Yeah, you know what? Speaking of so Ben Schwartz as Sonic, I've said this before, but he currently voices two other blue themed characters. He voices Dewey on DuckTales and Leonardo on Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was expecting his Sonic voice to sound more like Leonardo because they're both teenagers and Dewey's like 10. But just based on what we saw in the trailer, it's kind of, to me, like it just sounded like Dewey, and that surprised me. I thought he'd sound more Leonardo. Let's Dewey.
I thought he'd sound more
think
like
he'll be
Sonic,
good,
but
Well, you know what? When he was announced, and Chris, I said this in the last podcast we did. That is like the only thing that I still think is positive.
yeah,
Ben Schwartz is a damn good voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah, his
It's just-
voice. It fits Sonic well. Like if
think it
if-
would-
if
I
this
think
was-
it- I
if-
think
This Sonic.
I think it would fit Sonic well if he was directed correctly.
Well, I think if this was like a fully animated movie and there was a better looking Sonic with it, and like his voice was coming out of it, be like, yeah, that would fit well. Like that would fit alongside every other person who's voiced Sonic.
The one bit in the trailer that I didn't like laugh at it, but I think the joke that was closest to hitting for me was when Tom Boston points a gun directly at Sonic's face and Sonic just goes like meow. I kind of like that. Like it didn't make me laugh, and to kind of go with Steven, not to speaking of Ben Schwartz, 'cause I'm a big fan of him, but I felt like that meow wasn't as funny as it could have been, if that makes sense. Not to be a nitpicky.
Should have been Larry King.
Should be Larry King. No, and when he gets shot, he goes, "Nobody likes me." He falls over.
But yeah, I think this movie seems like something you watch and then walk out of, and then 3 minutes later you forget it, and you're like, oh what? Oh, okay. Where are we eating?
Just like Avengers Endgame. Captain Positive, your thoughts?
I haven't seen that movie. Is he allowed to say that? Don't people like that movie? Holy shit! I could edit that out.
It's there are parts of it that are laughably bad. Well, as in like I'm excited in the sense like some parts are like, oh man, this looks so like awkward and stuff. I can't wait to see it. And some stuff I'll be like, oh, All right, like namely Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Jim Carrey as Robotnik are pretty much the things that like I really like. Then there are some other things like something I said this on Twitter because there are certain angles where Sonic's design actually looks decent. Like there are a couple there are a couple shots where like you look there's an overhead shot, there's the one where it's the close up of his face and like okay, those kind of look decent, but then you have that one where he has his mouth open and he's shaking and the ones that are looking down upon him and it's like what's up with his face and proportions? It's
well, see,
yeah. That movie poster that's vaguely Speedway or Speed Highway adjacent. I think that poster actually looks good, cool even. Like if I saw it as a kid, I'd have freaked out.
And the thing is, I don't even think that they're all different like versions of the model. Like they're all the same character design. So I don't know, how do you make a character design that looks completely different and good and bad depending on the angle? Like how do you do that?
Well, that's just like Stefan, you ever take a selfie? Like, come on. It's all about the angle.
Well, it's Stefan, based on I think every shot of him that's from a downward perspective that makes him look shorter than he is makes the model look better.
Yeah.
Because again, I think the giant torso, the long legs, it doesn't, and the fact that they've kind of given him a neck, that ain't Sonic. Sonic's body should not make any sense in how it works. That boy does not have a neck. His head's just glued to his abdomen.
He has an ass. I don't want Sonic to have an ass. Why does he have an ass for?
He's gonna poop somehow, Steven!
No, not an ass. No, I didn't look there.
I'll say that if I like put my thumb over his face and I look at the head, I'm like, okay, that looks like it's the exact same like color. I think if you like literally took like his like regular body, made his legs shorter and fixed his face a bit, it's like literally then it would literally be Sonic because like he's got the color exactly right too.
Yeah, I mean it would just be like a few tweaks to make him better. I still don't understand why they can't just give him gloves. Why the fur on his hands has to be. I mean that is like a Zack Snyder level of we can't give Superman red underwear on the outside because it doesn't make any sense when Superman is of course a fucking alien.
Especially now that some of the posters are showing him with socks now.
Superman has socks now?
my guess is that it's much easier to late CG in socks than to late CG in gloves. Like that would be a pain in the ass to do. But with gloves you can just paint white along the bottom of each of these shots.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be a thing, as Steven said, that there's that kind of like mountain of sneakers. It is possible that maybe at the end of the movie, like they've done with Jim Carrey's Robotnik looking more like his game counterpart, it's likely at the end of the movie there may be a scene where he gets game accurate shoes or like gloves, what have you, or he just goes through a machine that makes him look not scary. That's what I want. That's the sequel I want.
He goes through a machine that gives him a Cyclops eye.
That's another thing from the design thing. I thought that little patch of white fur between his eyes to give the illusion of the Cyclops eyes was actually a pretty clever workaround. That kind of, but now that's nowhere to be seen on this model.
You can kind of see it, but it's very subtle. Like
dude,
you can't really. I'm looking at it. Like I can kind of see a white, but it's like it's so little that it's not really worth like mentioning.
Then why'd you mention it? Why'd you mention it, Steph?
Because I'm trying to say that it's there. It's just not done well.
It's not done well. But again, I think. So here's something then.
Stephen, you just summed up the entire trailer. It's there.
It's there. It's done. It's not done well, but I mean.
So guys, I think all of us are saying we hope Paramount will upload a version of the trailer that's just the voices with no sound effects or music. just like Men in Black International and The Mummy. Those are the best trailers you could ever have.
I'm actually kind of amazed they didn't do that because that totally would have helped Steven's point of like, imagine how much more that would have spread if it's like, they put out the trailer and it has a mistake in it.
Mm-hmm.
The audio on my trailer is better speed up.
I don't think this is intentionally done bad. I think this is a case of like they think what they're doing is the best option, and they're just that
look.
ignorant.
Gareth, there we go. No, Stefan and I disagree on something. There we go. We fulfilled our traits.
I mean, just it's. I don't understand Tim Miller specifically because he fought for so long to keep Deadpool, like close to his visual, how he looks visually, his personality. He fought with the studio and everything to make that first Deadpool movie as true to the character as possible. And it just feels like he just does not give a shit.
It's very well,
about this franchise
it's also,
whatsoever.
It feels very much obvious that because Deadpool was something that he's the director. This is something very passionate with him. With this, it's mostly just like Paramount is like. I technically Sony came to him first, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to produce Sonic?" And he's just like, "Sure."
Yeah,
I'll put
he
my
doesn't
name
really
on it.
care about Sonic is the answer to that.
That's what I forget was the current creative team attached when this was still at Sony.
Yes, it's the same team that was working on it.
Okay.
Paramount just bought everything.
There was one difference.
Gotcha.
When Paramount went, there was a new writer that came in that did like some rewrites on the screenplay, and it's the writer of 22 Jump Street, the Mortal Kombat, what do you call it? That web series, the Mortal Kombat web series.
Oh yeah.
And the
Legacy, wasn't it?
Legacy.
Mortal Kombat Legacy,
and the original script for Cloverfield Paradox. So like when it was before the changes. So. He's done some good work. So maybe this was like he came out to do like the polishes, like fix the dialogue, like so maybe not. So there probably wouldn't be any big like story changes, but maybe it might like be funnier.
Can you make Sonic say meow? Can you put that on the paper? Okay, thanks. You're good to go.
Something I find funny in like all the interviews beforehand is that this isn't really a paycheck for Jim Carrey. Like he genuinely cares about it. Like he's excited to be in this. Like anytime he's like, yeah, I'm in the Sonic movie. I'm playing the villain. It's like so great. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this isn't like he isn't looking at this like a.
Stefan. For somebody who went to film school, you sure did full sucker to marketing. If you really believe Jim Carrey gives a shit about this movie,
the thing is that if Jim Carrey doesn't care about something, he'll make it known. Like he's done that
after the fact, not normally beforehand. Afterwards he will, but I think actors they're bound by contracts, dude, to promote the movie. So unless he wants to get sued, he's not going to be like, I don't care about.
Well, there's a difference between like when you're actually promoting the movie and when you're just bringing it up, like when you're not like promoting the movie. Like what was it that thing at the thing at one of the award shows when they called up Jim Carrey?
The Golden Globes.
Yeah, the Golden Globes, and he mentioned it. It's like he wasn't being promoted for that. He just did it because he felt like it. And
what if Jim Carrey's playing a version of Jim Carrey that cares about his work?
And this is like his first like big movie in a long time. He wasn't.
That's
like
sad. His first big movie in a while is Sonic the Hedgehog.
But that was his choice. He decided to like go away and like not do stuff, and he decided, okay, this is what's gonna be my comeback.
He probably just needed money.
Yeah.
Sometimes actors will come back into the game just because they want a little more money.
So speaking of money, then, and something Steven said earlier about sequels. So Stefan, maybe you can find this online. Well, you said this will only make you said save certain talk for sequels, but I'm like, what's the budget? The budget on this is what, like roughly 100 million?
90 million so far. That's the official thing that they've got.
Oh, it's going to clear that, no problem.
I think, because they say, basic. This is not an exact science, but they typically say if you make 2.5 times your budget, that normally means you're a success, quote unquote. So I could see Sonic probably easily making at least 300 worldwide.
Yeah, no, I think that'll happen definitely.
Yeah,
I don't want it to, but I know it will.
No, so unfortunately that might mean we get a sequel.
All right.
And the thing is that Paramount, Paramount has had so many flops within the past several years that if that makes like 200 million, that'll be like a super success for them.
Because it's like what they have, the Fast and the Furious.
No,
franchise,
that's Universal.
and...
They have Mission Impossible.
Oh, they don't have it. So what the hell does Paramount have? Mission Impossible, and
that's it. and Transformers.
Mission Impossible.
But even then, Transformers wouldn't do as much. Mission Impossible is their only like money maker because Star Trek underperformed, Transformers underperformed, and like everything else bombed. Like you can look at their list of like what are their like look at the list. You got.
So what you're saying? This entire movie is desperation. Gotcha.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like what? Like you had Wonder Park, Sherlock Gnomes, the Cloverfield Paradox, Downsizing, Mother,
Baywatch. They did a new Baywatch.
Monster Trucks. I think their only hits within the past couple years were Arrival and A Quiet Place. That was it. Like they've been like struggling so hard recently.
And now Sonic's here to save them.
Sonic's to save them. And Terminator the week before, directed by Tim Miller.
God, this is a weird world we live in.
Wait, Paramount are releasing Sonic a week after
Terminator.
Yep. Paramount deserved to fail.
And don't forget a few months before that's Dora.
With Danny Trejo as Boots the Monkey.
Well, I'm depressed. Anyone else depressed?
Detective Pikachu looks good though.
Dude, I'm taking my niece to see it in 2 weeks' time. Dude, that movie looks so much fun.
Warner Brothers, Legendary, and Toho are they're the kings of this summer. Because you got that and Godzilla back to back from them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, dude. I know it just came out a week ago, man, but making over $1 billion in 1 week ain't nothing to sniff at, my son.
Well, those aren't the king. Those are the gods. You can't judge them.
But you know what? I've said it. You know, it's like MCU done. Fucking Game of Thrones is gonna be done soon. Detective Pikachu will be out.
MCU
the movie I care the most about. It is for me. I don't give a crap now about anything after Endgame because what's the point? Who cares?
You're gonna see Far From Home. You're gonna see Far From Home. Don't
Nope,
lie.
Dude. I literally have no interest in that movie.
You're gonna see.
You'll see it eventually.
No interest. I might I might rent it on like a Redbox, but I have no interest in going to see it on the big screen. Nothing about that trailer.
You're not done. You'll go watch the Black Widow film.
I mean, I might, rent it for other reasons, but yes, for sure, why not?
Ant-Man 3 isn't going to watch itself, guys. Come on.
that hasn't been announced yet, Chris. That hasn't been announced
yet.
Baby.
Yeah.
Pikachu's trying to fart.
Anyone else think it was weird that in the entire trailer they never addressed Sonic or Robotnik by name?
Who? Oh, no.
In fact, I don't think anyone's addressed by name. There's not a single name in the whole trailer.
The general guy, and he gets cut off.
Oh yeah, no name agenda here.
It's a no name agenda.
What if
Eggman's trying to?
What if the movie was just called No Name Agenda?
Okay, I figured out the plot. Eggman is against all these labels in modern society, and he's trying to stop it. And Sonic has to return justice.
So you're saying that Robotnik wants all gamers to rise up in a society?
Yes, Eggman is alt-right.
I saw someone make this joke, but what if Sonic doesn't actually have a name, and then he only gets his name from looking at a Sonic?
That's one of my predictions. I think one of the human characters is gonna name Sonic. I guarantee you that's gonna happen.
There's as Stefan said, there's gonna be a tie-in with finally after close to 30 years. It's gonna be a tie-in with Sonic restaurants, and they're gonna order chili dogs, and Sonic will say, "Wow, I love these Sonic brand chili dogs."
Look at the
Sonic.
Look at the
that's
Sonic,
what I'll call you from now on.
Look at the movie Sonic logo and put it beside the Sonic, like restaurant logo. They look eerily similar.
Even to create Sonic.
Now I'm the Sonic and Luigi Sonic
logo.
Well,
I'm sad now. Should we call it a day?
No, because
it's only been 45 minutes.
There's some predictions we need to get into. We haven't even touched those.
Well, see, I can't accurately do this because I read that Reddit post of the breakdown of the movie, so I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen in the movie. So I have nothing to add to this section.
You've just got better predictions then. That's all that means.
This one wasn't just in the Reddit post, but it was another leak, so I'll mention it. There was the leak regarding the Baby Sonic toy.
No, dude, which, spoiler alert, that's how the Reddit story started. With Baby Sonic on, let's just call it Mobius. And he falls through a ring and lands in Outworld, and he's raised by like eagles or something. He's raised by animals, which ties into like a very very old school Sonic Bible.
Eagles. All right.
So I was gonna say the question
the fastest creatures on Earth.
I was gonna say, so how long do you think like Baby Sonic we're gonna see Baby Sonic in the movie, and what do you think he's gonna look like?
5 minutes.
All right.
Not too long, but uncomfortably long.
Gareth, link me to that Reddit thing. That sounds like a good read.
Okay, I have to look for it, but yeah, I'll try and find it.
Thanks.
Or just look for Sonic movie Reddit leak. Google, you might find it that way. But I'll look for it. You boys give your predictions, because
I've also read the Reddit for what that's worth.
Oh, well, I guess I'm all alone in this. Well, I think in the trailer they show that there are outages. Like, for some reason, they make a big point of that. Like, it has to be relevant in order for them to show that. So there's outages, and they only say the West Coast, but we see, like, the entire country, even Mexico and Cuba, going out. So, and they show that happening after Sonic does, like, a little sonic boom. So the trailer's sort of like implying that Sonic's causing these things to happen. There's no way that's happening, because if he's like on one side of the country, why the fuck would Cuba's electricity go out? I think
Steven, I'm sorry. Did you see the tweet? It was like, if Sonic did that, and due to how babies are born, Sonic would have caused the death of like 500 babies. Sonic is a baby killer, confirmed.
Holy shit. So if Eggman is alt-right, then Sonic is for pro-choice. Gotcha. It's all making sense. One's red, one's blue. Oh my god.
We're starting to get a really clear picture of this movie now.
But I think I think there's two things that are going to happen here. I think either Eggman is the one causing the outages, and then he's just going to pull the villain's name from Incredibles.
Syndrome?
Yeah, he's just going to pull a Syndrome and be like, I secretly caused these, but I'll also be the one to solve them.
Oh, shit. That might be something, actually, yeah.
Yeah, and but I think all the blame will be put on Sonic, and so that'll incentivize incentivize the government to hire Eggman to take care of Sonic, and then he'll be the hero.
Yay! Sonic wins by killing a lot of babies.
He needs their fast juice to go fast.
This isn't really much of a prediction, but in the trailer we see Wachowski and his girlfriend. Have they given the girlfriend's character name yet?
Not in the trailer, but yeah, her character name has been revealed, I believe.
Oh shit, I don't remember it.
I have no idea what it is.
I feel bad. I'm sorry, I don't remember it.
Annie is her name.
Annie?
Yeah, Annie.
Is she okay?
Annie Wachowski.
Oh.
Is she okay, Annie?
Well, it's funny.
Whoa, wait!
It's funny that you make that joke, Gareth, because there's a scene where we see them falling off a skyscraper, and then Sonic like throws a ring behind them, and they transport into the farm special stage from Sonic Heroes.
Just like Doctor Strange.
And but we also later in the trailer we see them on top of a building, so I think that they're gonna fall off that building, and then that's when that scene happens. But also, if you notice in the trailer, you can see them on top of that building with Sonic. Then Eggman's drones show up, and then they're about to fire missiles on Sonic, and when they
vanish,
and then the human characters are gone. They're gone. So I think at that moment they have fallen off the building, and then that's when Sonic's gonna jump after them after he destroys the warheads. And
I wonder if that's the climax of the movie.
Probably,
no idea.
Yeah. Oh, there's something else. I wonder what because the music is being done by Junkie XL, so I'm wondering how that's gonna sound.
I'm sure it'll be good because he does good work, but I don't think we'll hear any of the actual classic Sonic music.
Yeah, obviously.
At all, which is a shame. Which is kind of a shame. You know what I was hoping we'd see in the trailer, but we didn't. That breastfeeding joke that everyone talked about at the cinema.
That seems like a shoe-in for the trailer. Maybe trailer 2.
I was working on formulas where you were taking formula. Actually, I was breastfed. Sonic the Hedgehog coming this November.
Can I point out an FTCR level oddity that's bugging me, and that is so
do.
granular? So Tom the Cop is a Green Hills cop, right?
Yes.
And this
I know,
movie
Yep.
purportedly is about Sonic and Tom crossing the country to San Francisco.
Yep.
When Tom uncovers Sonic in that room, he says SFPD and points his gun, which would infer that he's already a San Franciscan police officer.
The only
He could be
thing
impersonating one.
the only thing it might be is that sometimes movie studios will do this. That could just be the dialogue for the trailer, and in the movie itself, he'll say like GH or Green Hill Police Department. Because I think they did that with Detective Pikachu. I think in one of the trailers, Pikachu says, "Oh my god," and then a later version of that trailer had him say, "Oh my," whatever
Arceus.
the god Pokemon's name is.
No,
So
those are two different scenes.
different scenes. I gotcha. Well then, Pikachu, pick a religion. Like, jeez. But yeah, I mean, Chris, I got that as well. But I'm going to assume that even they wouldn't be as incompetent to mix up where the actual character lives. So I'm going to assume that was just a thing for the trailer. Even though I'm not sure why they felt we need to change that, but whatever.
It's clearly not the same day as when he saw him running while he's in the car, because he's wearing two completely different outfits. But it's the same time of day. So.
Yeah, I'm guessing the first scene is like one of the opening adult shots where he's like, "Oh, something ran by. I wonder what that was." And then he probably gets a phone call from like a grandma or something like, "There's something in the house across the street." And he's like, "I'm off duty, man. Why do you have my number?"
So, Eggman was never a part of Sonic's world. He was always a part of the human world in this canon.
Seems to be the case.
I want to say, even if you go back to the strictest, like Japanese classic canon, I want to say even that he they do say he came from Earth, but he said no idea how he got there.
Well, wait,
I want to say that's
Sonic's,
canon to the games.
Well, in the Japanese canon, it's always been Earth.
Oh yeah, always took place on Earth. Yeah, well then I guess there's too many canons with this.
I know
franchise.
it's dumb.
Well, especially because you have like the SA2 with Gerald, and you have like Gerald and stuff. But like, how did Eggman? Well, how did Eggman eventually get over to where Sonic is?
His grandfather threw him in a portal.
He threw him off the top of a building into a ring.
I mean,
My next experiment is to see if my grandson will die.
Do we know how old?
Results inconclusive.
Do we know how old Eggman is supposed to be?
Nope, his age is always given as unknown.
From me.
So do you think he's older than 50?
Classic.
Probably. Well, he'd have to be if the Shadow happened 50 years ago, and he clearly has some knowledge. The way he speaks in SA2 implies that he obviously had memories of his grandfather. So I'd say he's probably like
56 at least.
Yeah, like 55 to 60. If I have to make an educated guess,
He
because I'm not educated.
Bleaches
So
his
I'm gonna say-
mustache.
If you want to, oh yeah, what the hell? Yeah, he does. What's up with that? Or maybe,
Otherwise it would be gray. Or maybe it's true because there's a soundbite of Omochao who says his mustache is fake.
Exactly. I love it if at the end of the movie he still has the little mustache. He just rips that off, sticks on the big one, and then that's how the movie ends.
I like that. That's funny. Oh man.
Where's Obo and Cubot? That's my last thing. You know, I'd love if the trailer was exactly like this, but Eggman had Obo and Cubot, and they were just like they were from the games. It wouldn't match tonally whatsoever with anything else.
Careful, that would make it good.
Bring back Obo and Cubot.
Man.
See, if Pontiac and Graf wrote this, they would have put them in.
I wish.
Man, a Pontiac and Graf Sonic movie. I can only imagine.
McNose here.
Some other behind-the-scenes thing that I'm actually learning about right now. The cinematographer for the film is the person behind the last 4 Fast and Furious films, which makes sense considering the producer. And the editor, she previously edited both Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping, and The Disaster Artist.
Oh shit! This movie's gonna be great.
So the movie's got people who should know what they're doing. at least behind the scenes, but creatively, that's a
Look.
different story. Because
We've all had a project we just had to finish and get out there, even if it wasn't great. And a lot
Simpsons
of these
and
people
Run
just
LP.
happen to be in one spot.
yeah, because again, like the director, his only like real thing was a short from 2004,
Yeah, that's right.
which got nominated for an Oscar, and
Didn't win.
no,
No.
and then
Well, but I mean, like, but it's like Tim Miller's first movie was Deadpool, and that worked out fine. So just because it's somebody's first movie doesn't necessarily mean anything. The fact that his first movie is this, based off the trailer, kind of says something. But you know.
and then the main script is by the creators of Golan the Insatiable, which is like a really weird adult one of those adult animated it looks like it'd be in like an Adult Swim show, but I forget if it's actually by Adult
Well,
Swim.
You know what's funny though? You say that obviously Pontac and Graf were best known for Happy Tree Friends. Before right in for Sonic, so we've come full
Yeah.
circle, boys.
Yeah,
We've come
I
full
remember
circle.
I remember when they first got announced like years and years ago. I was like, "What is it with Pete getting super violent adult animated comedies to write Sonic? Why don't you get someone who like maybe has been writing Sonic for over 10 years and maybe knows a thing or two,
David the Worker?
who's able to work around executives and creative meddling to make something decent?"
Okay, you've twisted my arm. I'll do it.
Thank you.
As bad as this looks like, and I love him. I think a David the Lurker Sonic movie would actually be worse than what we have now.
Sorry, David.
How dare you,
Sorry, not sorry.
guys?
So
what if?
yeah.
What if? This is okay. So you remember my previous conspiracy? This is a different one, but I don't believe this is true. But
Devil's advocate.
the second conspiracy, I don't believe is true, but it's a funny idea. So what if this was the case? What if all this marketing, all these trailers, all these behind the scenes, all these leaks, what if all of it was fake and the film is exactly what we want? Like,
Well,
what,
you know,
if, it's,
that
what
was-
if it doesn't take place in the real world? What if it is a fully CG animated film?
I would lick a copy of Sonic 2 for the Sega
Like,
Genesis.
wouldn't that be like the
on
most
camera.
insane marketing scheme ever?
That was no, Stephen. That was literally what some people were theorizing about Sonic's design. Some people literally were thinking that Paramount were just trying to troll people with how bad the kind of leaks of the design were. But then, obviously, as you've seen in the trailer, Paramount aren't that intelligent, so it didn't happen.
Has there ever been
well.
a film that or something that has done that where they've just promoted something that's completely opposite from what the actual final product is?
The Room.
No, Brew advertised it exactly what it was going to be.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. That the trailers make that movie look like a fun, whimsical Disney romp, but instead it's like if that
true-
if that
true.
gypsy won't sleep with me, I'll burn her alive. It's like this isn't Walt Disney's Disney company anymore, boys. We've gone full on adult.
Oh,
While
this
we're
was something
here-
else I was also surprised it was that they kept Sega's name at the front. I wasn't expecting that
Yeah,
in the trailer.
Why were you surprised about that?
because Sega have nothing to do with this movie
I didn't-
whatsoever. That's why
I
it's
didn't
surprising.
think that they would have. I didn't think that they would have but that Sega would have they'd been like, just take our names off this.
Do you think that's Paramount's way of saying if you don't like this movie, blame those guys?
We put the rings on our name. We know what we're doing. Those Sega guys, they just got electricity. They don't even know the character.
You were saying, Chris, before Stefan said that thing?
Oh, in terms of movies marketing themselves to be what they're not be, it's been going around on Twitter a bit today, but the video game movie I want to see is a Sims movie where you have no idea it's a Sims movie, but the player is trying to kill the Sim, and just weird things keep happening to the main human the entire time. Like they get into a swimming pool and the ladder disappears. It's like, oh, what?
How will I ever get out?
It's funny because I came up with an idea for a Sims movie a few weeks ago
You
that I texted
did.
to Stephen. My idea for a Sims movie is someone is playing a game of Sims and the Sim becomes sentient, realizes who he is and what's going on, and tries to rally the other Sims to become sentient so they can find a way to escape the game before the player gets bored and shuts it off.
is the post-credits stinger shows the player turning the computer off, and then it zooms out to another player playing the player.
Holy Chris, you get a writing credit for that idea on my movie now, because that is the best way to end it. Look for FTCR presents. We can't legally call it Sims because we don't have the money for the franchise. But look for FTCR presents the Zims ZIM coming 2064.
I have bad news, everyone. We've talked for an hour about the Sonic movie trailer.
Can we call it a day so I can go back to looking after my sick son?
Sure.
Oh, man.
Johnny won't make Kirby Marathon, so I still haven't given him medicine. So I ignored him some more today, so I could talk about the Sonic. And he's destroyed the living room.
The worst part is you made your son watch the Sonic movie trailer.
No, I tried to, but he was like, no, he wanted to watch more Blippi.
Oh,
Blippi's the bane of my existence. So I think we'll call it a day for this one, boys and girls. I'm sure if we get a trailer too, we'll come back and we'll pull a Game Explain and just milk this till you're all bored of it. But until that day, I think, so Stephen, would you say you're cautiously optimistic, or you just don't care?
No, it's terrible. Don't go.
Okay.
Don't go watch this. Don't give them money. That's my takeaway.
Okay, so Stephen, then, but would you say then? Because I know at least one person who is with no irony is genuinely excited for this. Would you still encourage those, if you're pure of heart? Yeah, would you still encourage those people to go see it, or do you want no one to ever go see this?
I'll revise my statement. If you are genuinely interested in this film, then go see it. But if you're gonna go hate watch it, don't.
Okay.
I think I'm in the weird middle ground there. It's like I don't think it's going to be a great movie, but I don't think I'm hate watching it either. Like I'm genuinely curious how they're going to do it, but I'm not expecting anything.
I mean, my thing is that I'm not expecting it to be good, but like I did with 5 Transformers movies, I want to be proven wrong. I would love nothing more than for me to watch the movie and be like, Sonic looks terrible, but the movie itself isn't that bad.
Okay.
It's just because I don't. Dude, I'm 30. I have a son. I'm broke. I don't have the time or money to waste $10 to go sit in the theater for 2 hours and say this movie's dumb. I could just illegally download it for that purpose. I want this. I want this movie. I think all of us want this movie to be good. It's just based on the information we have been given to us thus far, just incredibly unlikely it will be. Unfortunately. Your thoughts, Christopher?
I'm
the
exact same way. Like at Chris, it's like I'm not gonna hate watch it. I don't think it's gonna be like great or good or anything. But I'm excited in the sense that I want to see what is this gonna like. How is this gonna look? Like no matter if I'm laughing at it or if I'm just sitting there confused. It's just I want to see what this is gonna be.
At absolute minimum, I've not seen a movie with Jim Carrey in a prominent role in a long time.
He hasn't made one since Dumb and Dumber 2, and that was like 2014. So,
the only thing I care about is I need to see this with David DeLuca, just so I can watch his heart melt. I'm gonna watch the entire movie looking at him. I won't even look at the screen.
That's just the price of admission right there.
Exactly. So
I want to watch David watches the Sonic movie.
Exactly. Well, I think we'll have to stage a FTCR Ohio event where we get David and T-Bay and Jono and maybe Bobu. We'll go watch it, and then afterwards we can just laugh as David cries for 6 hours.
I'm in. Let's do this.
I'm probably just gonna theater hop. I'll just theater hop. I've done it before.
What movie? So what? Do you think you'll give money to Terminator, and then just go see Sonic instead?
Depends whatever comes out at that. In
but
November.
Paramount still gets his money.
No.
Okay, find a non-Paramount movie and go see that.
Yeah, I'll go do that.
And then go jump Sonic. So thanks everyone for joining us. We'll probably do one if we get another trailer at some point. If not, then we'll see you in November.
All right.
Bye.
Every hero has a genesis.
Holy shit, that's actually a good tagline. I like that. Okay, bye.
Now let's say what we actually think about the movie.
Holy shit, it looks so good.